then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're gonna do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
Stephen A. Smith is never one to hold back, but this time he didn't just share an opinion, he lit a match and sparked a blazing debate. His pointed critique of the WNBA and its leadership under Commissioner Cathy Engelbert wasn't just another hot take. It was a full-blown rallying cry. At the heart of his frustration, the league's failure to fully embrace and elevate one of its brightest stars, Caitlin Clark. Higher television ratings, higher attendance figures, ladies, and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it, but you didn't do it. Now picture this, a rookie so electrifying, so undeniably magnetic that she's breaking attendance records and pulling in unprecedented TV ratings. Caitlin Clark isn't just another talented player, she's a game changer, the kind of star who can carry a sport into a whole new era. But instead of riding this tidal wave of success, the WNBA's response has been frustratingly underwhelming. Fans are left scratching their heads, asking the hard question, is this league serious about building its future? You didn't want to rather you, a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so you had people like Chef Swoops who didn't even want to mention her name. And here's where things get even more concerning. Stephen A. is not just calling out missed opportunities, he's warning about what's at stake if the WNBA doesn't get its act together. The cost could be a noose. The league is standing at a crossroads and every decision matters. So what happens if the WNBA keeps dropping the ball? What does? I mean, to squander a moment this big, and everybody talk about other NBA, WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them, nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care, fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along. When Stephen A. Smith speaks, it's not just a commentary, it's a seismic event. And this time, his sharp critique zeroed in on the WNBA, pulling no punches as he called out its veteran players and Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. His frustration, the league's glaring failure to truly embrace the meteoric rise of Caitlin Clark, a generational talent whose jaw-dropping performances have captivated fans and shattered expectations on the court. Smith didn't hold back, shining a spotlight on an issue that's often whispered about but rarely confronted: the disconnect between the talent lighting up the floor and the decision makers in the boardroom. This wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a pattern of missteps. How could the WNBA's brightest star find herself sidelined in the very narrative she's rewriting? But if you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Wow. Take, for instance, the league's deafening silence as Caitlin Clark racked up major accolades. Forbes 30 Under 30, SBJ Sports Person of the Year, Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year, and even her efforts to spotlight women's sports through appearances at the LPGA. Clark wasn't just a star, she was an ambassador for the game. Yet the WNBA's official channels barely acknowledge these historic milestones, botching opportunities to elevate her. Achievements fans noticed, and they let their frustration be known. Then there was the matter of her Rookie of the Year award, or rather the underwhelming way it was handled. While other award recipients received high-profile celebrations, Clark's recognition came via a simple phone call. No grand gestures, no spotlight, just a missed chance to capitalize on her rising stardom. They decided that they were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up. What gave Stephen A. Smith's fiery critique even more weight was the truth behind it. His words articulated what fans and players alike had been feeling for a long time. This wasn't just about Caitlin Clark. It was about a deeper issue of respect, investment, and a league seemingly unsure of how to champion its brightest stars. Smith didn't stop there. He pointed out that these weren't just isolated PR fumbles. They were symptoms of a much larger problem. The league's hesitancy to embrace bold moves or amplify its star power reflects an outdated approach to modern sports culture. Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a phenomenon, pulling in record crowds and injecting new energy into the game. Yet the WNBA appeared reluctant, perhaps even unsure, of how to seize the momentum she's creating. It elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value, but now something that y'all resisted, talking about, opining about, acknowledging the stakes, couldn't be higher. Stephen A. Smith's frustration wasn't just about Caitlin Clark, it was a wake-up call for the WNBA's future. Fans aren't just watching, they're demanding more. They want transparency, aggressive promotion of the league's top talent, and a clear, unwavering commitment to growing the game. Without these, even the most promising moments risk slipping into irrelevance. This isn't just about boosting viewership, it's about trust, vision, and the kind of leadership that can elevate women's basketball to new heights in today's hyper-competitive sports world. Momentum is everything. Smith's fiery critique wasn't just another opinion, it was a challenge to the league. Caitlin Clark represents everything the WNBA could become, a symbol of excellence, excitement, and possibility. But the league stands at a crossroads. Will its leadership step up, embrace this transformative potential, and drive the sport forward? Or will they falter, leaving fans and players to wonder if it's time for new voices at the helm? I say Caitlin Clark rising, tie lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist it when Commissioner Cathy Engelbert took the stage on national television. Fans and players alike hope to hear a confident leader ready to champion the WNBA stars and lay out a bold vision for the league's future. Instead, they were met with a series of baffling remarks that underscored a troubling disconnect in leadership. Her appearances on 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch left many wondering, does the league truly understand its own potential? On 60 Minutes, Engelbert was asked about Caitlin Clark's transformative impact on the game, a moment that seemed tailor-made for celebrating one of the league's brightest stars. But her response, no league's ever about one player. I noticed when you're asked about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well. No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries, and you can't do that alone as one person. While Engelbert's comment was likely intended to highlight the importance of teamwork, it came across as dismissive of Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on the WNBA's growth. Clark has been instrumental in boosting viewership, fan engagement, and overall visibility for the league. Social media erupted in frustration, with fans calling it a missed opportunity to celebrate the player who is single-handedly bringing a fresh wave of excitement to women's basketball. The disconnect grew even clearer during Engbert's appearance on CNBC's Power Lunch. While discussing rivalries as a driver for increased viewership, Engelbert leaned heavily on marketing buzzwords, avoiding more pressing concerns like player safety and equitable treatment. This approach didn't sit well with fans or players, who saw it as a glaring misstep for many. It underscored a troubling divide between the leadership's messaging and the realities on the ground. One white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people they want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. The consequences of this disconnect run deep. While Commissioner Engelbert talks about leveraging rivalries to boost ratings, players like Caitlin Clark are dealing with inconsistent officiating and physical challenges that could jeopardize their careers. Fans aren't clamoring for manufactured drama. They want integrity, fairness, and player fairness. They want integrity, fairness, and a league that prioritizes the well-being of its stars, ignoring these fundamentals, risks eroding the trust essential to the WNBA's continued growth. It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much, much more so than they were 5 years ago. Consider the long-standing issue of officiating inconsistencies. Players and fans alike have expressed growing frustration with refereeing. It swings between overly strict and frustratingly lenient. This unpredictability doesn't just disrupt the game's rhythm, it creates real safety concerns for athletes like Clark, who elevate the sport with aggressive drives and precision plays. Inconsistent calls heighten the risk of injury, leaving players vulnerable on the court. One glaring example, Caitlin Clark receiving a technical foul for hitting the ring post, a moment that sparked outrage among fans who were quick to highlight the uneven application of rules across the league. The incident didn't just raise eyebrows, it underscored the pressing need for clearer, more consistent officiating standards. Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical after I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three, and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So did the great Diana Taurasi get the same call during the same play? Let's find out. And Diana Taurasi, they'll count the bucket. These officiating missteps point to a deeper problem, the perception that the WNBA prioritizes optics over meaningful improvements instead of tackling these glaring issues head on. The league often relies on marketing-friendly narratives like hyping up rivalries to capture attention, but fans have been clear they're not asking for favoritism, they're asking for fairness. The spotlight should be on the game itself, not dimmed by office seat court controversies. Player safety is another glaring area where the league is falling short. Caitlin Clark's historic rookie season, marked by high-octane plays and record-breaking performances, also revealed the physical toll the sport demands. Clark endured an alarming number of flagrant fouls, raising serious concerns among analysts and gossip fans alike. Yet the WNBA's response has been frustratingly inadequate. No substantial action has been taken to improve officiating consistency or introduce stronger safety protocols to protect its players. Let's break this down by examining one of the fouls Clark endured, how it was officiated in the WNBA versus how a similar play would be handled in the NBA. The contrast eye-opening. Don't tell me Kayla Carr gets a special whiffle ever again. One call was an ejection, and the other was a common foul. Now let's replay this one more damn time. I can see right here, this was the exact same same play, bro. Look at this. Are you serious? By Williams. Williams was ejected for that. Beyond issues of officiating and player safety, the WNBA's handling of Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise exposed another glaring weakness: its inability to fully capitalize on a once-in-a-generation talent. Fans packed arenas and shattered viewership records rallying behind Clark and the league, yet merchandise tied to her historic achievements was almost non-existent, and promotional efforts around her breakthrough season fell far short of expectations. The result frustrated fans and a missed opportunity to elevate both Clark and the WNBA to new heights. Clark's rookie season wasn't just about jaw-dropping plays, it was